Lovely. All right, we can. Yeah, we can. Yeah, cool. All right, cool, cool. All right, excellent. So, Munch Nova Radio here, listeners, and indeed you'll see this filmed. We're sitting here, and it's myself, Wayne Madden, and I'm talking to Gavin from Guns to Roses, the premier UK tribute band to Guns N' Roses. Hello, sir. How are you?
Thank you for having me today.
That's all right. So, what brings you to Trillians tonight?
Well, yeah, basically, we have a show coming up next month. And me and Ron are like old friends over the last decade. We've jammed around a few times together. And so I found out he was up here and I had a free weekend. So we're going to jam one more time. It's been a year since we were last together. So, yeah, that's why.
Cool, cool.
We're going to sing a song.
I know that I know that there's a video floating around YouTube, isn't there, of Catcher in the Rye by you guys, and it's like the only time that they have Ron doing bass on video.
I think that's the only time Ron's ever played bass. I don't, Ron, that video is the only time you've played bass on video, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, that seems to be the only time.
So tell me a little bit about Guns N' Roses. How did you guys come together? What inspired you to form a Guns N' Roses tribute act? What inspired you to take your performance to the level that you do in terms of the dedication and the craft?
I was basically I was an actor living in London, and I had some free time on my hands, and it was something that I thought I could, have fun doing. We never intended to do it as long as we did. By our second year, we had Steven Adler with us on the drums for 10 days. A few years after that, we had Gilby with us, and then me and Ron started joining, and then Frank, and in between all that, we started getting recognized worldwide, and it's just basically snowballs,
So what kind of lengths have you gone to? Because you said you were an actor, so in terms of adopting the role of Axel in your own case, or in terms of other band members, have they gone to any sort of lengths or extreme measures to adopt their persona?
Not so much so in that respect. I mean, the thing is our lineup has changed throughout the years, and it's come to the point in a tribute band where they don't expect us to act like Axl Rose or Slash, or we kind of already had those qualities and negativities about ourselves. So it's been said anyway, we were young when we started, so we had the similar lifestyle, we were in our early 20s, and we kind of morphed into it, so now when we're on stage, it's no longer a show where you're quoting something from Use Your Illusion or the Ritz. We can literally, as long as I got an accent on, I can talk about my day in Newcastle and the crowd reacts, kind of thing. So we've kind of evolved and morphed, and the stuff we've done with people like Ron and Frank and Steven kind of gives us more legitimate sort of basis. We do a lot of stuff now with the TV, the BBC. We're doing stuff in the States. We're touring Hollywood quite often. And we've kind of crossed that a bit. I don't want to sound too bold, but we've kind of crossed that a bit from your average tribute band you'll find in a bar.
Sure.
We've kind of gone in between the loops with it. We're getting booked for like appearances at celebrity events and stuff like that. So, but back to the original question, nothing really inspired me. I was just bored one day and I thought, this sounds fun. And then everything came at the right time and it snowballed for us. In the first couple of years, I don't think we were a good band the first 2 years. But then with Steven coming on board, it made us legitimate. So then we practiced more and got better because we were getting booked into bigger places. And that's just basically how it all happened.
That must have been quite an interesting sort of situation when you had yourself. Well, effectively, well, set the scene for me. When Steven Adler contacts you and says he wants to drum with your band, do someone goes, "Is this a joke?" Or it's like, "Oh my God, the Stephen Adler, or just someone named Stephen Adler from Droitwich or something?
Well, what happened was he had a band with him at the time, and they imploded mid-tour. So a guitarist from New York called Adam Baum, who was on tour with Stephen, we got in touch with each other, and they're like, "Hey, you know all the songs?" So we were like, "Yeah," and we basically went off after that. So it was a kind of like, the first initial moments, wow, but after like the second, third show, it was just like having one of your friends with you kind of thing. And, him and I ended up, drinking after shows, ended up in the same hotel rooms and stuff like that. So it was kind of, there is a picture actually that exists of him totally naked with my ex-girlfriend's scarf around his cock, pretending he's in the Chili Peppers. That was after the show we did in Camden Town in London.
Wow. And so was there that kind of debauchery with Gilby Clark? How was he?
God, no. Gilby was kept himself to himself. Nice guy, but I think Gilby's just Gilby. He wants to do his own thing. He wants to be known as Gilby, and some people are maybe a bit standoffish. When they're trying to be recognized and not associated and tagged with guns. However, I did say at one point, I was like, Gilby, he says guns on your poster, dude.
So tell me a little, because you guys obviously, one thing that set you apart, certainly with the media at the time of Chinese Democracy, was you were a covers band who were performing Chinese Democracy songs, and you were taking that stand of saying we want to put the new material as well as the old in our catalogue. How did that come about? How did you have that discussion of saying we want to play the likes of Shackler's Revenge or Catcher in the Rye, that kind of thing?
It was because of my preference, because it's one of my favorite albums, and that era of the Guns band is actually my favorite. When Ron and everybody was involved, it is my favorite era. It's a controversial thing to say, but fuck it, What happened with that is the BBC rung me up, and I had to do the radio interviews because no one was available to do it. That was fucked. I mean, why ring a cover band to? But fuck it, I took the role, and we did a few of these things, and sorry, dude.
No, that's all right.
But no, I was just a fan of that album. We met Ron 2 years before the album come out, and we were already friends then anyway. And the guys were fans of his playing as well. So we started doing Shackler's Revenge and stuff like that before Guns were doing it live. Only by about 6 months, but it was something different, for everybody, And when you're doing a cover band or a tribute band, you want to be different to everybody else. You don't want to be getting on stage with a Pepe Le Pew t-shirt and the same or the Kill Your Idols t-shirt like everybody wears in a kilt every single fucking show, because shit dries out, That's the sort of stuff you find in a bar or a pub. So you got to evolve with everything. But again, I've got off on a tangent. But yeah, I think the Chinese Democracy stuff it was our favorite era of the band. 2006 to 2000 and whenever it was, I do like that era. So.
No, cool. I mean, so it's going to be controversial, but I do have to ask. Obviously, you're doing the show here in Newcastle in December. Fantastic stuff. As far as the sort of quote-unquote real Guns N' Roses are concerned, there's been a little bit, there's always internet talk. There's been a little bit of internet talk about the idea of Slash and Duff and the future for what it holds with Axl in the current lineup. How do you feel? Do you think just stick to a tour, or do you think it would be nice to see those guys maybe record something?
I've heard they have recorded something. I can't say too much on record, but something will come out.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. I like to hear that.
I don't know how reliable that is. I don't want to be fucking screwed over on some fucking forum, but yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, Tell me then about your upcoming set lists. Tell me about sort of, are you going to be throwing new songs into the mix?
Well, we're actually putting one of Ron's songs in there.
Yeah?
So yeah, we're doing The Little Brother Is Watching. When Ron debuted it, with Electrally, I think it was the first with us, Ron, right?
Yeah, he's nodding.
So the band all learned the song, and we did a show quite recently in Sheffield, and people were like, play The Little Brother Is Watching song. It was 2 or 3 different guys, and we did like a verse and the chorus, because I got the words jumbled up. But we're bringing his song in for the Newcastle show anyway. We've been bringing in the Chinese democracy stuff isn't so prominent right now, but we've been bringing in stuff like "Shoot the Thrill" by AC/DC.
Yeah.
And ironically, I have been asked to front an AC/DC show in December down in South England. Yeah, I've learned 2 songs.
So are you if you were like how do you feel about things like Coma when you hear people go, "Oh, play Coma"?
We do play Coma.
Yeah, but do you kind of
Yeah, well, I like Coma. I mean, so I always say yes to it, but there are members of the band that don't like the song.
Yes.
I think all bands are the same. There's songs that some people like, and this is every band. Everybody likes certain songs better than others. Like, you know, I mean, I've never been a big fan of Mr. Brownstone, but the rest of the band like it, and so do the crowd, especially the girls. So you got to play it. And so when people, we've tried and we will continue to try and cover everything. I mean, most of our stuff is on YouTube. You can see us doing Locomotive badly. Did it once. We had no floor monitors, and I forgot the words. But, you know, this stuff is Breakdown, Coma, you know. So we try and do something for everyone, if not once. But, you know, doing the stuff as well with some of the solo stuff, you know, because we've always been fans of Ron. We were trying to get our rhythm guitarist Niall to do Glad to Be Here, because him and Ron used to look alike.
Oh, wow.
And Niall would never learn it, but there is a video of Ron doing it with us.
Okay.
And the video, ironically, because of who the guys look like in the band, looks like he's singing it with Slash and Duff in the background.
Very nice.
Very, yeah, it looks, with the way things panned out, it's kind of cool. I like that video.
Cool. So so what does it's cliche, but what does the future hold for you? Where's 2017 taking you? Do you know?
Yeah, we got a lot of. We'll be back here. We got our annual show in Newcastle O2. We've got another America tour coming up we'll be doing Hollywood. I've been working with Vicky Hamilton a lot, so there may be some cameo in a TV show she's putting together for her book, Appetite for Dysfunction, which we have on sale. And yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think if we're going to any new countries. I know we're going back to Slovenia, India. But yeah, I don't know what's holding so far. It might just be the same as this year. And this year wasn't a bad year, but you know, as long as people are coming around, they're happy. That's worth doing, even if it is sometimes tiring to do, you know. And I've got some Bumblefoot hot sauce. I wasn't allowed the Bumblefucked, but this is
Bumblicious.
Bumblicious.
Okay.
But Crazy Callum just had the Bumblefucked, and he is still fucked over there. But I went off subject again. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Before we let you go, before we let you run back and go, God, thank God I'm free of this interview.
I'm just trying to remember things, because what will happen is the interview will end, and I'll think of something really fucking cool that we've got going on and that I've forgotten to say about. So
or indeed profound.
yeah. So I just can't think right now what the fuck.
Sure. Well, to help you think, so we're filming tonight with Bumblefoot and Trillians for Easy as Pie Productions, who are based out of Durham. I don't know whether you want to say a little bit about Easy as Pie or how excited you are to find out that they were filming.
I did not know Easy as Pie was filming. I thought my entire night tonight was going to be on a cell phone. Now that I find that they're filming, I am ecstatic, because it means that I'll be in glorified HD and not somebody's shaky cell phone, because my friend that would have filmed me would have fucked it up. You guys being here have made it so much better for me. So I'm ecstatic. Easy as Pie Films, seriously, thank you very much for having me. And yeah, I'm glad I wore the shades because that light is bright as fuck.
I believe it's 4K tonight.
It's what?
It's 4K. It's not HD. It's 4K cameras.
4K? Yeah. Shit. I'm still on a 1080p. You know, I use that for my PlayStation, and then I've got a projector somewhere which I need to find. This 4K shit, what am I going to notice? Unless I'm this far away from the screen now. Who is this far away from the screen?
What are you playing on PlayStation at the moment?
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Very nice. You enjoying it?
I like the old London thing because it's based around where I live in London, and they've done it to scale. So there's places that I can walk around now and I can see like the 16th century version, no 1800s I think it is. Yeah. I know I like historic games like that. I'm playing that, and I just I don't play too much games. I collect the old ones as well. I have arcade machines and Street Fighter 2 and all that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a geek with that stuff.
That's all right. You'd be very welcome. Yeah. No, cool. Gavin, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
I like Aerithon.